My name is Raul, and you're watching the Stylus League Creative Livestream, where every week the team comes on, takes on a 3D project, and you get to see that from start to end. This week, you see my face. That means Daddy's not home. So let's see what type of debauchery we can get into. All right, I'm gonna.
It's the Stylus League. Mike and B pitching the pen, making pitches ascend to the highest ring. The league. Raul running the scheme. Tune into the program and why receive. Yeah, we dropping these seeds. Art over everything. Drive the dream.
You added everybody but me.
That was a flawless entry. Thank you, Raul.
I appreciate that. Yeah,
it's nice to know that we're capable of doing a flawless entry. That's what one looks like. Crazy.
When I get more than 30 seconds before the start of the show to try it out, it's great. It's usually pretty okay.
That's what one looks like. Noted.
Yeah. What's so funny is that I see Joe Job was like, "You scared me." I don't think anybody's used to that energy coming on.
Yeah.
When the stream turns on, we had more watchers when we went live than we do right now. They're like, "Oh God,
too much coffee. Too much coffee.
Exit right out." Yeah, too much coffee in my wonderful Stylus League mug. Which, by the way, Bradley, I still have yours. You need to like get it.
There's no such thing as too much coffee here, guys. Let's be
real. Now, guys, we have the Super Friends with us today. As you guys can see here, we have Tony Gore and Brad Grotman.
Hey.
And our resident badass, Bradley Kohler. What's up, Bradley? How's everything going? Co-host, the bad boy.
I feel like I'm being profiled. I'm not bad. I'm misunderstood.
Misunderstood. Resident misunderstood individual. Yeah. So as I mentioned, guys, every week the guys here will find a project to work on, and they'll do that right in front of your eyes. So why don't we start off with Bradley? Bradley, what are we working on this week?
So today I'm going to do my storm. I have a pose. So because you guys, I'm a mix between a little traditional and trying to get more statuey in my work. So this is my pose. Everything I made sure that in this pose that everything has the same low topology, or it's the same geo as the one that's here. So my goal is I'm going to bring and work this character to a final high poly, and then I'm going to drop in this pose into that file. So that should eliminate me doing a lot of rework. So that's what I'm doing today.
Awesome. Can't wait to see what it looks like. Tony, what's up, brother? How you doing, man? You doing all right?
I'm doing all right. I think I am going to pivot again. Like last week, we left off and I was working on Skunkor. Let me switch my
It's Stinkor, Tony. It's Stinkor.
Come on. This is why I might be pivoting.
Same difference. I understand.
And I don't know. I'm stuck on what I want to do with the armor because I saw a lot of concepts, and I'm not the best with armor, but I gotta figure it out. So I might pivot. I like this little warrior chick because it's a funny little cartoony thing. And I also wanted to show you guys my somewhat finished punk rock girl.
Oh wow, that looks great.
Is that Arnold?
Yeah, this is Arnold.
Okay.
You like the rendering, or?
I love the rendering. Yeah.
So I'm the reason I say quasi finished because there are some things I want to tweak. I think her ponytail looks a little thin, so I'm gonna go in and change how I did that in next gen. I like how I did the little swoop hair here, and I'm happy with the texturing. So I'm somewhat happy with how this came out, even though I'm never exactly happy with my work. But you know how it is as an artist.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're just playing around today, guys.
So this is that artist ADHD that I keep hearing about.
Absolutely, nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. All right, great. Thanks, Tony.
Mm-hmm.
And Brad, you've done absolutely no work since the last stream, right?
Yeah, so garbage.
He's not that complicated a guy. He's just basically, just a cloak with eyes, right? I mean, he's got lots of hands. He's again, like I think I mentioned in Discord, he's about 90% hands. But so yeah,
That's
this is
that's what all the girls at school said.
this is
I guess we're not staying
largely going to
PG-13
be
today.
a Photoshop paint over thing. I already did like the 600 renders with different materials and lights because that's not that exciting. And I'm just going to I started compositing them together. But I'm going to do lots of painting over. I'm going to create a background. I'm going to do all kinds of little, post-production stuff, which is kind of fun to do. When you have a day, it's kind of a good 2-hour experiment to see what you can do with Photoshop.
A little 2-hour block there. Yeah. So can you first and foremost, who are you doing? What is the name of this character?
This is I'm going to show you the reference so you can see how close I got. He's a complicated guy. So this is what I was going for, and that was tricky. So I didn't quite get there. I got close with the colors, but that was that's the best I could do. So I'm just trying to kind of create. He's Orko. He's kind of the little floaty magic wizard type thing from the Masters of the Universe, and I just wanted to kind of play around with something that wasn't overly complex, so I could kind of more play with the overall look of the cloak and the hat and the kind of freaky stuff going on. Giant hands. Gave him an embroidered gold O as opposed to this, which is not really terribly exciting. Yeah, so now I'm going to try and do some paint over and some background stuff so it looks like he's doing something somewhere. I got to paint magic because I do have, I had like in my actual render, I had a version of him with like basically Z-sphere magic stuff, and that's not really going to fly for a photo, so I have to try and recreate that somehow.
I was actually going to ask if you're going to have him casting something.
Yeah, that's why his hands are kind of in that holding position. I have to just put something in there for him to be holding now. So that's part of today too.
Okay, awesome. Well, guys, it looks like Bradley and Tony already hopped to it. So pencils down or up. That's gonna be the next T-shirt, guys. Pencils down or up.
Pick one.
Yeah, pick one. Whichever you like, whichever you think means start work. Do that. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get to chat here. Ram says, "Good morning, Stylus League." Enough said. Good morning.
Morning.
What's up, everybody? It's still Ram. still Ram there. Our resident holy man, Gus says, "Good morning, guys."
Gus.
Jamie says, "Hey everyone, hope you're doing well." Hey Jamie, welcome to the stream.
Good to see folks again.
I already highlighted Jojoba, but I don't know if he came on. Did I scare you? Was that me? Was that me with my voice? Did you guys have me on another monitor and you weren't even looking? And I came on and screamed into the mic.
It's like, why are you yelling?
Why are you screaming inside voices? Jamie says, "Yay, what's up, super friends?" Orlando, good morning, guys. Good morning, chat.
What's up, man?
We have Mini Chicks in here. Mini Chick says, "Hi, guys. Happy sculpting."
I don't know if you saw, she posted some of the prints of the sculpts she was showing last week in Discord. They look really awesome.
Oh, word? Yeah, I'm gonna have to pull that up. Wait, are those prints? Those look like the models just because of the backdrop. I'm not. Are those real life prints? I don't.
I believe so.
Oh, maybe I'm looking in the wrong spot. I'll catch up here. Mini Chicks, I'll pull that up here. Half Dead Creations. Welcome to the stream, by the way. This is the first time I see you in chat, so welcome to the league. Half Dead says, "Hey fellas, I'm a painter and I 3D print. What advice do you have for a beginner on ZBrush? I have so many ideas that I want to create, but I get overwhelmed with ZBrush."
I can speak to that because I teach this to a bunch of beginners, and I would suggest obviously patience first, but take advantage of the fact that ZBrush gives you a lot of things to kind of start with, like just starting with when I teach this, the first thing we do is we just get this basic demo female head and just use the move brush, and just like for quite a bit of time, just start changing the overall appearance of something, just to kind of get a feel for exactly how the tools work. Because the move brush, for example, again, just getting used to the size that you need it to be to have the desired effect, all that kind of stuff. This is kind of like, it can get a lot because ZBrush can do a million things, but the great thing about the ZBrush is you don't need to know everything about it in order to do stuff. Just like 2 brushes can pretty much do everything if you really want. And that's kind of what I always teach my students at first, is just start with something that is just very, very straightforward. Take something that's already is there, and just play around with just tweaking it. And the more, it's like anything else, right? You start by copying other stuff sometimes, just to get a feel for the technical aspect of it, and then when you get more comfortable, then you can start getting more creative in your own right. But I think that generally speaking, just starting with the basic mesh, one of the ones they give you, and just seeing how far from the original you can take it, and just to get an appreciation more than anything else for how just a couple of tools can have a really significant change, in the overall look of something, and how you can just take that and slowly build onto it. What it comes down to is, if you watch like a tutorial and it shows you 50 things that ZBrush can do, you're not going to remember any of it, because you need to be doing it in the context of something that you're doing. So if you're creating something like, okay, I have to figure out a way to make a tentacle, well, then you're going to learn about the curve tube brush, and then you're going to know how to use that from now on. You know what I mean? But I think generally speaking, give yourself a project that you want to do, learn the things you need to learn for the sake of that project, and then that just adds to what you know. But I would always just start with something very simple, just get a feel for how the tools feel. Even if this is something that is not terribly amazing or beautiful, if you're not used to the tools, this is something that's kind of straightforward. It's a nice way to get used to how the tools work, and then you just go from there. But I think generally speaking, just starting with a basic mesh that is kind of just already takes a lot of the guesswork out of the starting point. You just kind of go from there and see what kind of customization you can give it, and it'll give you an appreciation, I think, for how just a few tools can do a whole lot of stuff. So that's what I would suggest. Just start with a very basic thing, see how far you can take it away from its original state. And, because again, from here to this in 2 seconds with 2 brushes, it just shows you how much you can do. That's what I tend to start with.
Awesome. Some great advice. What about you, Tony? What do you think?
Piggyback on what Brad said, try to add some new stuff. I agree with everything he said, but I will add, the first things you make are going to suck. Get over it. Just jump in, mess up, screw around, and you'll just learn. And the biggest thing I have, because I teach it too, the biggest thing that I think people need to understand is it's just going to take time. Time's the secret ingredient. If you just keep noodling at it, if you just keep going, you're going to get better. You're not going to have a choice. And the other little bit of advice I have is, again, start with the primitive. It's going to make things a lot easier. You're going to be a lot happier with the results, especially when you're first starting out. But also, if you're jumping into it, try not to jump in with the most technically complex project ever.
Right.
Something, stay in your wheelhouse, something that you can achieve successfully, and then increase the difficulty level in your next project. Because the biggest mistake I see, especially, again, I teach at a university, the biggest mistake I see is people jump into these really complex projects when they haven't touched the software ever, and they're setting themselves up for failure, and then they get disappointed, and then they're like, I don't want to touch it, and it's too hard. Don't do that. Start with something that you can achieve successfully. Give yourself a timeline to finish it, and then once you're done, move on to something else so that you can keep learning. You know what I mean? Like, don't just jump into, I'm going to make somebody who's 100% realistic on my first project, and I'm going to put all these abs and veins and anatomically correct. If you want to, sure, but you're kind of setting yourself up to kind of be disappointed. That's all I got to say about that.
Especially if you're kind of an experienced artist in one area, you know what I mean? Like, it might feel weird to kind of start with something so simple. Even, like if you've been painting for a while, for example, and you got that down, to start with, okay, I'm just going to start with creating a very simple thing. You might feel like, well, I should be beyond this. Well, that's not. It's a whole different tool. You want to start with something that is achievable, and because again, especially with just using those tools, just getting a familiarity with things like when I teach it, the things that the kids have a lot of problemms with. It's just getting a feel for example, in ZBrush, how big to make the brush, the move brush, especially to have the desired effect. It's just a little, that make it too small, and then they'll pinch a bunch of little things, and it's not very smooth. Like just little stuff like that. The more you do, the more you get a feel for it. And that's why I think that, start with 2 brushes. Say, I'm going to make the whole sculpt with 2 brushes and that's it. And see how far you can get with that, and then slowly just add to it. Because ZBrush has a lot of things it can do. And the biggest, one of the bigger problems can be, if you feel like you have to know how to do all that before you can do really awesome stuff. When ZBrush first came out, it didn't have any of that stuff. It was very, very basic, but it could still do some amazing stuff because you don't need a whole lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Bradley, what do you think?
I disagree with all of that.
Yeah,
of course you do.
I disagree with all of that. I didn't teach ZBrush, but I learned it.
You did learn it, yes.
I learned it. All right, and I think everybody should sculpt a Hulk.
Everybody should get their feet wet doing the biggest thing they could do.
Everyone I know that has ever learned ZBrush has sculpted a Hulk at some point in time, and I just have to believe that in sculpting a Hulk, you learn everything you need to learn. you learn poly painting, you learn size.
No, wait, did I have never sculpted a Hulk.
Brad, but we know somebody else who's not here today who has.
I know.
Yeah. Everybody's going to no. I agree with everything that Tony and Brad said. I would also add there isn't one perfect way to do anything, and you should find the way that works for you.
Yep.
When there's so many tools, there's so many things that people use. Some are minimalists that don't use much. Some of them use a lot of things to help achieve their work, from base mesh to using starting from nothing. Find what works for you that helps you stay creative, and that way is the right way.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Hopefully Half Dead, you got some you picked up some tips there. The guys were dropping some knowledge, so hopefully you guys take advantage of that. I know for me, I started with a sphere. And as long as I could make a sphere look like a sphere, I felt good about it.
You're on your way.
Yeah, I'm on my way. Yeah, I'm on my on my way. Katri Zani says, "Hey guys, greetings."
Hey Katri.
Hey Katri.
Jamie's on the stream saying Orko could hold a giant Stylus League mug. Yeah, why are we not incorporating Stylus League like memorabilia into we need a plug. We need to start plugging.
It's an oversight. We need to adjust.
You want me to sell out? You want me to just start being
he's like sell out. We need to sell out.
Yeah, we need to start doing that. We need to do better at our plugging. By the way, there is Stylus League merch at stylusleague.com. Go ahead and like and subscribe to the stream if you like everything, and share out if you think anybody would like this content. Moving on. Joe Joba was saying, yeah, he was watching something else when the stream came on. I scared the ever-living crap out of him. Mini Chick says, yes, they are 3D prints in the 3D work in progress. I'm painting them at the moment. Awesome. Yeah, I'll put.
Scary dog.
He's being robbed. He's being robbed, everybody.
Did you mute yourself?
There's a dog related incident.
Sounds like Ping.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm back.
Such a vicious animal. That killer.
Yeah, my dog sounds horrifically vicious, and he is half pit, half Chihuahua.
Wait, there's a story behind that one. How did that happen?
Look, man, I wasn't there during the process. I can't tell you. I just have the aftermath.
I have to assume that's abuse.
Yeah.
I have to assume that is abuse.
Yeah, but I wasn't there during the process. Katri says, this is really good advice, Brad. You can't just drink the whole sea at once. Yeah, it is tempting. It's salty though. Jamie B says Obi-Wan Groatman. Spot on, mate. Gus says, guys, where were you when I started learning ZBrush? I did the opposite. Gus also has a pro tip for beginners. Get rid of that red wax material.
Yes, immediately.
Is that even still there? Is that still?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Look,
Wow,
right
I didn't
there.
know that.
Hey, Brad, let me ask you a question. You're in Photoshop. Have you downloaded the new version yet?
I have.
Have you played with it?
You mean the beta has that generative autofill
Because
thing?
all I'm seeing is everybody's blowing up on it.
Yeah, I mean that's still just in the beta version, and I did like I've looked at it. I haven't because I have to figure out exactly how it's basically it's a content aware fill, right? But you can just
On
swap
crack.
out the shirt for a suit and tie. It's unfortunate because if I teach this stuff, if I teach graphic design now, I'm just gonna be like, well, guys, you just hit this button and everything's done.
Yeah, it's a real problem.
I don't really know how I'm supposed to teach Photoshop now. Here's how you select and remove things when now you just select it and say, take it out and replace it with a deer and it's going to work just fine.
The whole thing swaps out. Yeah.
You don't want to be the one teacher that's telling them not to use AI.
I used to do a whole section on photo restoration, and now it is literally a filter. You click and say restore photo. And
the world has changed.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, when you really think about it, what's good about that is that it removes technology as the barrier for creativity.
I want to hear that shit.
I agree.
Yeah, no, I agree. And again, like I was saying to these guys, like, yeah, this is how Phil Tippett felt when Jurassic Park came out. It's like, yeah, I guess I'm done now. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like there's a ton of people out there that are hyper creative, but they look at a tool like ZBrush or they look at a tool like Photoshop and they get overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
And so that becomes the barrier to telling some amazing stories and creating some amazing art, when in reality it should be the individual that should be the only barrier.
I agree. It's a little scary for if you're a professional doing this stuff, but I'm kind of embracing it. I'm looking forward to seeing what this turns into, because I think there's room for the human artist, and I think there's room for AI if done the right way. Now, humans
no new friends.
Humans have a way of not doing it.
Wait, why is everybody dropping from the stream? Hold on, guys. Come
Wow.
No,
I completely disagree with all of that.
No, I mean, again, it's inevitable. One of the things that I saw on it was a meme, but I think it's really true. It's AI isn't going to take your job, but somebody using AI will.
Yes.
And I think that it's important to understand how to utilize it as a tool and then incorporate it and integrate it into your workflow. Doesn't take away your creativity. Use it as a tool to enable the things that you're doing.
I see a lot of people
want to sell tires.
I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, AI, I'm not going to make art." I mean, if AI stops you from making art, then AI is not the problem.
Yeah, I would agree. As a layman, I would agree. Angry Monday says, "Good morning, League and chat." Good morning, Angry.
Yeah, welcome to the AI show, guys, where we're going to generate all of our work.
It's important to talk about.
Today we're going to prompt all of our work.
Yeah,
dark, ghostly character in darkness, glowing eyes, hobbit hat. Go.
I love that. That's that's fantastic.
Bradley started planting seeds in Discord about me using like saying I'm using AI.
I did.
I'm totally being slandered.
I'm like, you writer.
You're dragging Brad's name through the mud. Straight.
Like Brad always talks about
actually making it.
Brad always talks that he's teaching 3D and Photoshop, but he doesn't mention that degree in literature. So he's writing
He's writing it
He's
out.
writing all these prompts. He's writing it out.
That's actually what AI is. Just a bunch of people in a
Yeah.
room hurriedly, like trying to sculpt.
Yeah.
They come up with the prompt. And,
I actually did see. So somebody put out like, and I'm not gonna name the tool, but somebody was like, trying to sell something exactly like that, where it was supposedly AI generated 3D art through prompt, and they're like, yeah, just put in your prompt, and in 24 hours your model will be done. It's like 24 hours. Wait, what?
Y'all better pray all these writers go back to work. If not, they're going to become digital artists.
Real quick.
Like,
Really
please
quick.
end this strike. We need the strike to end.
All right. So Mini Chick says, main thing to remember about ZBrush is, as Bradley said, there's no right way to do stuff. Don't let anyone tell you have to use Dynameshes or Dynanames.
I don't think I even use Dynamesh much at all. And I mean, I don't know if you guys, but I used to use it obviously all the time, especially if you're just concepting with a sphere. But yeah, I used to use it all the time. I think I've kind of gotten away from that quite a bit.
If I have to brute force
I'm always
something,
using
I'll
Dynamesh.
use it. I'll use it.
By the way, Tony, I think what exactly are you doing right now? Like, how are you? I find it interesting. You're like projecting.
I'm just using. Some people use the what is it called, Spotlight, to project their reference. I just use the draw, and there's what do you call it? The floor in Z, and I just project my image on Z just so I can line it up and get the proportions right. And now I'm just using a bunch of spheres. And then again, especially when you're not using base mesh. Usually, if I have something that the proportions are a little bit wonky or different, I use spheres to block everything out. So right now I'm doing the breasts and the legs because she's kind of chunky in the hips. And I'm just kind of doing it piece by piece, and I'll merge it with Dynamesh once I get a good feel for it.
Super cool, man. I don't think I've seen anybody do this yet.
Oh, yeah.
To kind of like help block out their model.
Oh yeah, I invented the technique.
It's the wrong way to do it. That's why we don't do it. It's the wrong way, so we don't do it that way.
Yeah,
It's the wrong way. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to Mini Chicks's comment. There is no wrong way of doing something.
It's just wrong way. That's why we don't do it.
Half that says, awesome. Thank you guys for the energy and knowledge. Much appreciated.
Somebody appreciates us.
Yeah, at least someone. At least someone.
It's not a great show if I agree with everything that everybody says,
And it's not a Stylus League show if you agree with anything anyone says.
I can't, absolutely cannot. It's in my contract. Cannot agree.
Yeah, so a lot of people think it's just Bradley and Mike arguing back and forth. No, Bradley's just a contrarian. It's fine.
Yeah.
he'll argue with anybody.
He'll argue against his own self.
I've seen it. I've seen it happen.
I've done it.
B is on. B says, "What's going on, boys? What's up, B?" Angry says, "I hope the Roddy." Wait, what? I hope the Roddy was the female.
I think you're talking about the Rottweiler / Chihuahua.
Oh, yeah. Again, I wasn't there. I was.
Stop giving me imagery. Stop giving me imagery.
Yeah. All I know is that at a certain point,
you received an animal. You received a dog.
I got a very beautiful looking puppy. But yeah, he sounds like a Rottweiler or a pit bull.
I mean, I imagine that being a cute animal.
Oh, he's adorable. A lot of people say he looks like the dog from The Mask.
Okay.
I've shown him on stream before. Most of the time, he's actually chilling behind me, sleeping, for exactly that reason, because he likes to bark. So, looks like Frederick is on. Frederick says, I would also add, use backface mask on clay, build up and never use that square alpha. That's on by default. Switch to 0.
So backface masking is one of those things, man, that it's vitally important, especially when you're using a brush like clay buildup, which is crazy, like strong and intense. And they really kind of hide backface mask. Like ZBrush does not make it easy to find necessarily. Like it's kind of like just stowed away in this little mini menu somewhere. I'm going to open this up, but I always use the square alpha. I may have to try that.
Yeah, I use a square alpha too.
I like it because especially if you're doing like muscle blockout, it's kind of gives you like a little muscle fibery feel to it.
Yep.
But yeah, so for example, here if I have my clay build-up brush, and if I sculpt on this ear, it's going to pull that clay, but it's going to kind of pull the clay from behind, right? And that's so basically it kind of like it gets caught up in there. And if you're painting a thin surface, it's the same problem. So I put it on the bottom of my little user interface here. But backface masking essentially makes it so that if the camera can't see it, the brush doesn't see it. And it's up here under brush, and then down here under auto masking, and then down here under like it's just tucked away, and it's so important for everything. So like if you don't know where that is, put that on your user interface. Put it somewhere where you can get to it easily. It's a brush by brush setting, so make sure you keep that in mind too. It's not going to be on for every brush, just for the brush you're using. But I am strictly in the square alpha camp. You can't make me stop.
Yeah.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Especially if you're using a dense mesh and you're doing muscles. Like if I turn clay tubes on, right, and then I turn my focal shift all the way down and the intensity down, you're basically drawing on muscle fibers if you go back and forth. And I like to use a low setting because it's not as intense and you can build it up over time. But you can just draw in the directions the muscle fibers go. You get a nice little,
Do you still use clay spin, Tone? I know that was
but I use clay. I like to use clay spin on the face. So like and if you don't know what clay spin is, like if I'm building up forms. Sometimes form soft works, but I don't have a lot of control in there. But the clay spin is under brushes. You go to your clay brushes, and it's a spin brush, and it looks like chunky. But like if I'm drawing like brows or just trying to block something out, right now it's way too intense. So for me anyway. Let's make this higher.
Yeah, it just gives it a little extra noise, right?
Yeah.
In the pattern.
And sometimes you want noise, sometimes you don't. But like,
yeah,
there we go. So if I'm doing like a brow or something, well, that's way too much. I'll turn this down to like a 2 or a 1. And again, people who know me know I like to use way low settings and just build up gradually.
Yeah, I like the little added bit of noise it adds by spinning like that.
Mm-hmm. And I use like a circular motion when I do it too, to build up. And again, I don't know how to put it in words, but like it gives you more of a mound feeling to your form. So like if I want something, see how this, like if I'm doing the cheekbones, how this comes out, it peaks more.
It just feels nice and polished. It feels like it's got a nice smooth, like it's noisy but not obnoxiously so.
And then you just smooth it out, and you got like a nice little bit of subtle noise to your stuff if you need that. And again, a lot of the brushes, it's just developing a feel for what they actually do, like how they, just like you would when you're using different tools in like real life clay. Like if you get a feel for how they operate with the digital clay. But what do I know? I'm just some dude.
Just some dude. Quote of the day.
And again, I disagree with all of that.
I was gonna say, yeah, I'm waiting to hear Bradley just tear that apart.
Disagree with all that.
Yeah. Bradley, what are you working on right now?
I am getting in my hand forms so I can start to turn these into gloves. The brush. So when I was starting early on, in my modeling, a lot of my stuff didn't look like they had bones, and everything looked all round and stuff. So I took a lot of classes from Ryan Kingsling, and there's some cool brushes that I got that are free on his Gumroad, and I like to use his ball stylus brush to create bony landmarks. And I smooth and also like flattens at the same time. So before I start to actually make the gloves, I'm making sure that my hands look like there's like bones underneath them.
Nice.
And the best way, and if I use like the other clay brushes, like the other, like, so clay buildup will leave like this harsh square, but ball will leave nice, smooth forms, and I just smooth out.
I was under the impression everybody just starts with the Mike T hand and then just kind of work from there.
That's he took years to get to that level. I'm not there yet.
You're not there yet. All right.
I think the Mike T hand is really for villains, right? Like there's
Yeah.
It's not often the case that you're going to have that arthritic hand in someone who needs.
Dude, we see it on the most feminine of characters with Mike. Superheroes, everyone. That's great. Hannibal says those people are called art directors. It's basically given P. Diddy no need for big, just a generator called Bad Boy.
Oh, this is the AI.
This is AI, the AI discussion. Yeah.
I remember one of the things I remember from Ryan Kingsley from years ago that I always use is Trim Dynamic. That works wonders.
That too.
Dude, Trim Dynamic is an awesome paintbrush.
Yes.
It is so great for painting.
Really?
Because Trim Dynamic works by finding the high points and knocking them down. So if you just set it to paint and turn off Z sub, it'll just hit the high points. It's like doing a dry brush. It's really cool.
Did not know that.
Pro tip.
That is my go-to. I love that brush. You have to turn down the RGB intensity by quite a bit, but it's really great for just hitting the high points of stuff.
Gus says Stylus League AI edition.
Hey, we cover all. We cover all.
Yeah, guys, if you haven't already done so, go ahead and drop a like on the stream. If you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel. We're excited you're here. Welcome to the league. And share this with anybody that you think would actually like the content, right? We love growing the community. It's a great community. There's a Discord in the bottom. I don't know if that link should still be working. Let me know if that link doesn't work for Discord. I'll drop it in the chat here in a second. But the Discord community is great, filled with artists. And you guys have been really helpful to each other, especially recently. I've seen a lot of discourse on there, which is great. So, yep, just getting back over here to some chat. Hannibal says everyone can't make, that says I, but I think he means AI to.
I think he's saying it there. I think it's it.
Oh, okay. Everyone can't make it to the top of the mountain without sacrificing to pay due. Never mind us who've taken decades to get there. Here, baby, take this gun. Yeah. Khatri says I got I'm just gonna keep that moving. Khatri says
who hurt you?
Yeah. Hannibal, we'll have the therapy session afterwards. It's fine. Khatri says I block out my models like Tony all the time. That's awesome, man.
That is the wrong way to do it.
Bradley, we're gonna fight. Fight and get it over with.
But Bradley's like, don't do it that way.
Whatever.
DK is on. DK says, hey everyone. And going back to Backface, DK says I rip Backface off and put it in my UI.
Yeah, that's. of the things that you put on my UI are the things like that that are vital, but I can never remember where they are. So I just pop them, like that one, and being able to change the paint mode of your brush, like stuff like that. That's just I can never remember. You have to put them somewhere. You have to save yourself from yourself sometimes.
That has actually made me like a horrible teacher because I rely on my custom UI like over the years for when I'm teaching someone something, I'm like, yeah, it's right. Damn it, I forgot where that's at.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I teach, I never touch any of my UI at all because then it's I forget where to tell them to go to get it.
I'm like, I wish I could help you. You want my UI?
Yeah, I've seen them do it.
Yeah. Now here's a question, and this is my own ignorance. Can you guys export your UI settings?
Oh yeah.
Huh.
That might be actually messed me up for years. Actually,
Yeah.
that's a gift and a curse.
Well, I mean, if we can export our UI settings, I think that would be something pretty cool to share in the Discord.
If someone wants it.
Yeah, if somebody wants to see and use your UI settings, that'd be pretty cool. What do you guys in the chat say? Do you guys want to?
Brad, let me help him with the equivalent of that. That's like, let's say you have your favorite butt spot, right? And your butt spot feels good to you, and then someone sits in your butt spot in your chair, and they're like, "Something's wrong with your couch." You're like, "No, that fits my butt. That's my butt spot."
Yeah, but that's up to them. That's up to them.
You're asking everyone to try our butt spots and see if they like it.
That's an analogy nobody knew they wanted.
Yeah, I mean that's fine. I mean, I don't buy used sneakers, but I know some people do. I don't do it, but I know a lot of people go out there and they buy used sneakers. Right? It's fine. They can change out the insole.
Speaking of used sneakers, I'm gonna veer off topic here because I work in middle school.
Okay.
Why are these? And then maybe you know because you're a sneakerhead. Why are these kids sharing each other's sneakers? And the amount of feet funk that I smell walking through the hallway, like from moldy sneakers and feet. And these are middle schoolers, mind you. So middle schoolers already smell, but they're sharing each other's sneakers. And the smells that combine from the oh my God. I would never share somebody's sneakers.
Because the schools don't cover good hygiene anymore.
Oh,
I blame teachers.
We absolutely do, and they just don't listen. But I get that all these kids are. I like these sneakers. I'm gonna wear these off. Can I borrow your sneakers? I want to wear these with this outfit. I would never, because these kids are rocking each other's sneakers. It's crazy.
I blame the parents.
I can say the one thing I would probably never say when I was in school was, "I want to wear your sneakers."
Give him shoes.
That never occurred to me.
Have you noticed that, Brad?
That was not a thing.
No, I again, Tony, the key to me maintaining sanity is to pretend that the students aren't there.
You're right.
They're not there. And I love that you say that while petting your cat and looking like a Bond villain.
He's making it really hard for me doing the work. He was chewing on my stylus. So it's we've come to an understanding where he won't chew on my stylus, and I'll take a few minutes to pet him. He's gonna then make biscuits on my neck and scratch me to hell. So again, it's a give and take situation here.
Look, man, I'm just saying. What's the name of the villain from Inspector Gadget?
No, is it Dr. No?
From Inspector Gadget.
Dr. Claw.
Dr. Claw, yeah. That's what you look. The only difference is we see your face. That's the only difference. All right, so Gaming 480p says, Bradley, please, when you finish, send me those hands. I hate hands. Gaming 480p, welcome to the league, man. I think this is the first time I've seen you comment. Thank you for your engagement here, bud. Bradley, any comments? that was specific for you.
All day. I hate doing hands, but I had to learn to do hands. So whatever you want, you can have it. You can have my butt spot in my hands.
Hands are the villain of most artists.
All right. We have Frederick says, so about the contest, I've seen a lot of cool stuff in Whip 3D, but is there a dedicated page for it? There is not, as far as I know, right?
There will be a page. I'm going to
submissions,
put it
right?
up
for submissions.
The final submission page. Yes, the final submission page will go up on June 1st.
But to Frederick's question, we don't have anywhere now. Specifically,
no, it's not there. I'm assuming he's asking for the final submission location.
Yeah, and that probably makes sense. You don't want to get bogged down with whips. You want it to be, just for.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. We just want it to be for the final submission. And so the fear is that if you put it up too early, all you'll get are whips, and you don't know which one's the actual final submission. Frederick says, if you hold control over a button, I believe it will show you the path.
I got to check that out. Yeah, because I know that if you hold down control over stuff in
I did
ZBrush,
that.
it often kind of gives you a brief description of what the button does, which is awesome. But yeah, maybe it does show you where it is.
Yeah, it does. I'm doing it. Yeah, it does.
Oh hell, I didn't know that.
Ah,
That's so
completely
cool.
forgot that did that. I knew once upon a time. I needed to know that it did that once upon a time to make my UI.
That's okay, Bradley. I have to ask. So the hot pink square. Explain.
Yes.
I'm
So-
just curious because I mean I think we kind of shared UI colors.
Yeah. So
with one notable exception.
So my company colors is teal and hot pink. So
Okay.
those are my colors. I like those colors. So yeah. Thank you for making me feel
No,
so
I was just
conscious
I was
about
just curious. I don't remember that.
my
I didn't
pink,
remember that
you know?
being there before. Is that new or has it been there before?
Yeah, it's new because I so for the between doing personal work and work, I needed something to jolt my eyes while looking at my Cintiq for so long, and I sometimes just having that that color just wakes my eyes up a little bit, and yeah.
Okay.
So just so I get this straight, you feel subconscious about that, but not about butt spots.
Nothing. hey, you know,
I'm just saying.
there's some things I don't feel bad about, and butt spots definitely up there.
Yeah, but B says butt spot. Pause.
Yeah, I mean it's
What's wrong with that? You sound like somebody don't have have you not had a favorite spot on your couch? All right.
Okay. Hannibal is asking, so Bradley's saying he doesn't want to accommodate anyone who wants his butt spot.
Hey, look at my comment after. There's more. I actually replied to that one. I replied to that one.
Should I highlight comments that you write in the stream? Can you just say it out loud since we're here?
I forgot. I
I think we
say
need
a lot of
new
crap,
Discord
man.
section that's just butt
I
spots.
say a lot of at Hannibal. My butt spot is open to anyone who wants it.
Ooh, pause.
Whoa, that is a pause. That right there, that's a pause.
I don't think you meant to say that, sir.
That is a big. As a matter of fact,
I
that's
mean,
getting
no judgment.
flipped.
It is 2023, but I mean,
Yeah,
It sounds like you're judging. You can't say no judgment and it's 2023. You can't say that there is no judgment. It didn't announce the year. Like you can't be like
it announced the year.
It didn't announce the year. That's not how that works, Tony.
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay, but I want Bradley to know that will be a short coming out later this week.
That's going to be a new T-shirt.
I wish I had.
T-shirt. That's great. Yeah.
I wish I had the shame you want me to have.
Gus says custom UI at some point can improve the workflow a lot. Also, custom shortcuts for the main brushes help me work faster.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, all my main brushes have shortcuts to them because I hate hunting around for stuff. That's my big problem with a certain 3D program that we shall not name. That it makes me hunt for every little button I want to go through instead of just popping it up.
Yeah,
Guys, he's talking about. No,
I don't know what you're talking about. It's not important, but yeah.
And then I'm just gonna move on.
What did Blender do to you?
Yeah, I'm just moving on, man.
Blender do you?
Hannibal says, "I want to wear your sneakers" was a thing in Gen X era. I'm not sure it was.
That was after they pointed a gun at you and took your Jordans.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I'm Gen X, but I also didn't have any friends. So
so here it is. It was called click run them sneakers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say that wasn't a sharing thing. Nah.
The run your pockets thing.
Yep.
All you up north people ruined my ability to ever get a starter jacket. Thanks.
So everybody had what was the team? The Hornets. The Hornets jacket.
Yeah.
Could never get a starter jacket because you goons up there in the north.
Anybody watching New Evil Dead asking others except Bradley? I can't. That looks too messed up for me, man.
What happened?
Contrary has anybody watched the New Evil Dead?
Nope.
I cannot. Even though I'm not as terrified of scary movies as Bradley, but that looks too creepy for me, man.
I'll be honest, I'm not up on like the latest things right now. Zelda's been eating my entire life, so I have not seen any seen her. I haven't even seen the new Guardians of the Galaxy because because I've been so enthralled.
Highly recommend.
Yeah. Oh, I hear it's great. I actually do hear it's great. Hold on. Gaming 480p says, I know it's part of the process.
Yeah, he's talking about the hand issue, I think, there.
Yeah. Jamie is saying, is there a file size / resolution restriction for the final submission? No, not as far as I know, right?
Nope.
Brother?
No restriction.
Just don't crash our Discord, that's all.
Do whatever
I don't know.
Do whatever shows your work off the best. You know,
best, yeah.
You want
to. Bradley, what do you think if the final submission we also make into like a Stylus League wallpaper and share it out?
Right. Sounds like a good idea.
Hey, what? Yeah, I think that's. I'm mad I didn't think of it.
Mini Chick says, if I may plug someone else's video, Pablo Munez, ZBrush Guides has an amazing. I think that's talk. That's a
tutorial.
Oh, tutorial. About setting up kids and their 3-letter acronyms these days. Right?
I mean,
about setting up your own UI and suiting your workflow.
Everything he does is awesome. Like basically just go to ZBrush Guides and just set up shop there because it's just the best. It's one of the best places to go for ZBrush.
Yeah, he's the guy.
I know Mike talks a lot about Pablo Munez. So yeah, that's 100% true. Jamie says, at Mini Chicks, all of his tips are great help to 100%. Have we ever had Pablo on the stream?
No.
Okay, that's a note.
Is that a possible get? I think he'd be down, maybe, unless he's doing his own. He's doing his own.
Hey, everybody's a possible get.
Anything's possible.
Yep, anyone's a possible get. That was that. We already did. Even Spielberg. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, everybody's got a price, right? Hannibal says, I want to see the Evil Dead. Is it good? Katri says, I'm so hyped for Spider-Man 2. Venom gameplay looks dope. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
It does look good. It looks really good. That comes out this year, right?
They said fall.
I think next year.
No, they said fall this year.
Yeah, fall this year, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's.
But it's going to be a PlayStation. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, you're
good. A PlayStation exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
PlayStation. That's what they always start that way. I gotta
and then you'll wait 2 or 3 years, and then they'll come out on PC. So
I'm still on PS4. I haven't even touched it in like over a year.
Well, yeah, you got a PC. That's where you play your COD, right?
Yeah.
So wait, you didn't play the new God of War?
No, I've never played God of War ever.
Really? Then you need, but you have a PC, right?
Yeah.
Okay, play the 2016 version.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is an.
I don't even know why you're still streaming right now.
Yep. We'll drop them.
You should probably do that. Like
go do
now.
That. Yeah, play the 2016 version. I liked Ragnarok. I did not feel like Ragnarok ended right. I felt like the whole game was amazing, and then just like for me, the last 5% of the game kind of fumbled the ball a little bit. But that's on me.
Speaking of God of War, wasn't there news that Grissetti left?
What? No,
Grissetti left.
Did he really? That needs to be Googled.
To do what? Do you know?
I think he got hired somewhere else. I forget the studio.
Yeah, he leaves. Yeah, God of War, Ragnarok art director Raphael Grassetti leaves Santa Monica Studios after 10 years.
Wow.
And that was news that came out on the 19th of May, according to Gamatsu.
I'm sure he's getting the bag somewhere else. But like,
yeah, continue to learn from the connections. Special thanks to Corey Balrog, blah, 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 blah. Extremely, yeah, they don't say where he's going.
Crazy.
Yeah, they don't
I know he made a lot of money doing NFTs, so
well, I mean,
well,
when
he
you
did
got
it.
when
He
you got
sold
it,
them.
you got it. Yeah.
he made a lot of money doing NFTs.
So Hannibal says, "Oh yeah, Bradley, great series for you, called From."
From is an awesome show. That show is awesome.
Yeah, Mike tried to get me to watch that, but it's scary.
I watched a
Really,
couple
really
episodes.
good.
It's terrifying.
Yeah,
So you're the first person to have
really
told me
good.
the truth.
because everybody's trying to get you just to watch it, but I don't know why. Because it's not like you have a camera on yourself when you're watching stuff at home. So
you just think my life is just here for entertainment? That's what you
Yes.
That's what you said?
That's what I think.
Usually
That's what
when
I heard.
people look at somebody on YouTube, that is the expectation.
I'm a person.
No,
Amuse us.
no, you're not.
I'm a person.
Dance.
Are you though?
Sometimes.
Let's see. B, I know B asked a question. I'm just skipping over it. Speaking of Mike, where's Mike? Skip. No, I'm just kidding. He's moving into his new home, so
Yeah, this will be the final.
Yeah,
He'll be here next Friday. Next Friday we start Street Fighter with Eric Sosa.
We're not worth showing up for. Tony and I, we're just seat fillers.
I didn't do it. You see,
everything gets dropped for everyone else. So we're
no,
just,
you know what, Brad? I disagree. I think you have your own butt spot.
Nice callback.
As the old saying goes.
As the old saying goes, he's got his own butt spot. The old adage, if you will.
That's an old African proverb.
Katri says, speaking of Venom, anyone remembers the prototype? Yeah, prototype was great.
Oh yeah, that was awesome. Man.
They were bad, great games. I love them. It's like watching Sharknado. It had so much potential. Too bad the studio was shut down. Yeah.
How dare you besmirch Sharknado? Just joking.
Which one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7?
Yes.
13? Which one?
I've never watched one of those movies.
Oh, Bradley, like we.
Oh, you
we
can watch
do...
Sharknado.
Yeah. I mean, they're not that scary.
No, I'm just not about scary. It just sounds pretty stupid. Like
It is.
Oh yeah, it is. That's the point.
It sounds pretty.
That's the point.
Sounds pretty ridiculous.
Speaking of pretty stupid, guys, I didn't talk about my experience with Fast and Furious 10, did I?
No, you sure didn't.
You better not call those movies stupid.
Because they're all about family.
Those are masterpieces. All right, like those will go in a museum one day.
I won't say stupid, but ridiculous, and I absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. That's all I got to say.
Look, it's a thing, right? Like everything doesn't need to be a 10 out of 10 masterpiece. It just
was
needs
a guilty
to serve,
pleasure, man.
It needs to serve its purpose. It needs to serve its purpose, right? Like it doesn't.
That's why Catwoman was a great movie.
Oh, why? Okay. Ooh. I mean, that's not necessarily the
hill I die said on, that.
Yeah.
That's like if Fast and the Furious is great, so is Catwoman.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I'll B says Raul, I felt that too. The ending was Yeah, it felt like it was a lot of build up. You get to this thing, and I didn't feel the payoff. Great game was great though. Like I don't take anything away from it. But I also felt like the game was longer than it probably should have been. And they probably should have done some things a little differently towards the end. Because it didn't feel like an end. Right? Frederick says, Jamie B, are you submitting your actual Z tool or just images? They're probably a max file size on Discord, but at least get a couple of gigs.
No, we don't need your ZBrush files. Just the final piece.
Yeah, just however you present it, whether it be images, video, or what have you. Let's see here. B says, well, set that up, Raul. Video cam bomb Bradley at home and set up a scary movie for profit. Not for nothing. I already have cameras in Bradley's house all over the place, so it's fine. I watch him sleep. B says,
for a reason.
B says, hey, now I didn't say that. I literally just asked about Tony's Guitar Girl as well.
Oh yeah, I think he came in after you had mentioned that you're.
I'll show it again because I'm slightly happy with it. Like I said,
Slightly happy
great.
with it, yeah.
Whereas here,
I have
here
the worst
she is.
friends to have, like, you know, they beat themselves up.
I wish you did better, Tony.
Thank you. That's what I needed.
Yeah. No, you got enough people fluffing up your head. No, it does look great, though.
Thank you.
Does look great.
That is the goal.
B goes, Catwoman is a great movie. That's the hill, Bradley. Hannibal says, Catwoman, Halle Berry, okay, swing for the fences today.
Well, I mean,
Even Halle Berry is like, what? She felt it in her cat sense. She woke up like, the sense, the force.
You'll be surprised on the hills I'm willing to go off on. All right.
Yeah, even Halle Berry is just like, you know what? There's been better things I've done.
I'm like,
There's a disturbance.
no, there's a hill there and no one's dying on it. Let me go.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, guys, we're at 11 o'clock. Let's go ahead and do what's good. Hopefully you guys have one. Tony, can we start with you?
No.
What's good? Okay. Solo layout, bringing you up. Tony, what's good today, sir?
I don't have. Oh, can you come back to me? I didn't think of one. I should have. I didn't.
See. You know, the homework is out. There's one thing. We ask you guys to do one thing. Jeez, Brad, what do you got?
Okay, so I'm gonna just make a
That
quick
was
little,
high pitched, but that's fine.
I'm just gonna make a quick little announcement here. Bradley and Mike were nice enough to let me start a weekly stream for Stylus League coming up. So I'll be, jumping on here to just to sculpt stuff probably on a weekly basis. As soon as school lets out and I have a little bit more of an idea as to what works best for everybody else here. But yeah, I get to do a little streaming on Stylus League myself every once in a while too. If for as long as they'll let me. And so if that sounds like a good thing, please pretend that it sounds like a good thing.
Can I be a guest?
That is absolutely amazing. So that did not sound the excitement that it deserved. Everyone, Brad.
No,
as soon as he's done with school or sooner,
get yourself do a Mike T. Do a Mike T.
Hold on. Everyone, this shit's crazy. All right, it's crazy. Brad, on a weekly basis, coming up will stream.
Yeah, man.
We'll stream live on the on Stylus League, and not only will it'll be statues. It'll be posing. It'll be Photoshop. It'll be everything. Brad will be everything. Brad, you'll be everything. Exciting.
If Brad is not working on anything, the stream will just be him eating a cereal with the cat on his lap. Right?
I'll watch that.
Some days when he's not feeling it, he's not feeling it, he will sit in his chair and he will pet his cat.
Yep.
No, the good thing about it is you're not wrong. And like one, there's going to be a cat involved, whether I want there to be or not. And two, I do tend to do a little bit of everything. Animation. It's going
to be amazing. You guys are going to learn so much from Brad till it's not even funny.
So I think it'll be fun. It'll give me a great excuse to kind of get organized and produce something every week. That'll be kind of fun to do. But yeah, and again, I want to thank the guys for letting me use up their airwaves while I'm doing it.
Now,
to be amazing.
Brad, you said Bradley and Mike. I want you to know that it was a unanimous business decision.
I'm
so I
sorry.
said
I'm
yes
sorry.
to it.
I didn't.
So
I meant no harm.
you meant no harm, but
No feelings for.
alas, you caused harm.
I'm still hurt a little bit when you came into the chat the room this morning, saw me in the waiting room, and decided
didn't let
and
him
just
in.
left you there.
So
Just left you there.
yeah. There is some history there, right?
That's awesome. Yeah, actually, I did solo layout for Bradley, but I don't think we're ready for that yet because there's a lot of congratulations on here. A lot of people saying that's awesome. The Groatman, the goat. That's amazing, Brad. More Stylus League is always welcome.
That's what I'm saying.
Mini Chicks, awesome news. Bring on the fur babies. Bring on the fur babies. Orlando says, great news. Yeah, absolutely. So we're excited, Brad, to have you streaming. The invitation is also open to Tony as well. He just didn't throw his hat into the ring just yet. But yeah, great news, Brad. Yeah.
He wants to be a good dad all the time. It's hard to get him anywhere.
Something about him having like things to do and stuff.
Always makes you feel bad. He's like, "Hey, Brad, hey, Bradley, can't hang out with you. I'm being a good father,
being there for my children." What? That's ridiculous.
Making you feel shitty.
Sorry.
Yeah, Taylor Swift and all. So Bradley, what's good?
So my what's good? I finally procured something that I've been trying to get for like the last 5 years. I finally got an Andrew Carr's Anatomy model. And what's great about this is that it was completely, so I bought it used from someone. It was completely faded, and I hired Clinker Studios, Brendan, to remaster and repaint it for me, and he did a fantastic job. It looks brand new. It's completely restored and repainted by Clinker Studios.
That's super cool. So it was cheaper for you to buy it used and restore it than to just buy a new one?
You cannot buy it brand new. It does not. It is unpurchasable. Like, you can't purchase it anywhere. It's like this statue unpainted with when it was brand new was $500. A painted version is $700. And they've been sold out for 5 years. Oh,
wow.
So
wow, that's impressive.
I found someone at the studio was selling theirs. They had it sitting in an area where it was sitting in the sun, and it was completely damaged. Like, I bought it like super, super cheap, and I hired Brendan to restore it. And he's actually working to restore more Andrew Carr's statues. So if you guys are looking, or if you have one and you want it completely restored, reach out to Brendan at Clinker Studios, and he will do an amazing job. He did an amazing job restoring this. I can't tell you how happy I am to finally have one of these.
Well, if you have a link to like his page, if you could drop that in the chat, that'd be great. All right, Tony, you have had enough time.
I guess my what's good is school's almost over, and I will be a frequent guest on Brad's stream.
Yes, you will.
Thank
goodness for that.
Thank goodness for that.
That's always good. So there, it lights up.
So what I'm hearing is that we're gonna have hours and hours and hours of you sitting there trying to post something and Brad telling you, nope, just a little bit more.
Like, how about you push it? How about you push a little bit? You know what? Just leave. Just leave. You're not pushing it.
Can you send me the file? Send me the file.
We'll do it live.
Yeah. Hey, what was that mouse? Is that a new mouse? Did you say? Or?
I did get a new mouse. So Rocat.
Okay.
LED wire mouse. I don't like a wireless mouse, but this is pretty awesome mouse. Lots of buttons, lots of customizations. I can program the lights. Look at that. See, I did have something.
Yeah, a little bling, adding a little bling to the setup. Yeah, super cool, guys. My what's good is that tomorrow I actually get to share the experience of watching the Mario movie with my daughter. Again, most people know that I am a Nintendo fanboy, and so sharing something like that with her is going to be pretty amazing.
That's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's gonna be really great. All right, getting over to chat. Looks like we have Sparky on. What's up,
Hey,
Sparky? Hopefully, I didn't blow out anybody's ears. I was trying to tone that back. Jamie says, "I'm gonna need a second monitor for all these guests on stream in the future." Then, yeah, that's it's gonna be a thing. We're excited to have Brad and Tony on and doing their thing, even when they're not on the main show. We're piloting this out. Like if you guys turn up for them and you guys like what's going on, I mean, there's nothing from stopping us from doing more of that with some past guests in the future. So show up, subscribe, like their stuff, keep the same level of energy that you guys do for the main show, and you guys will just have more content. So super excited for it. Let's see here. B says, look, see, he's talking about butt spots, and now he's showing off someone else's butt.
Right.
And
it's an Andrew Carr's butt. It's different.
I did notice a decrease in viewers the moment I read that comment. It was actually pretty
Andrew
funny.
Carr's.
Yeah. Let's see here. Jokes aside, that thing is amazing. Katri says dope. Wait, can someone help me out here?
Crochet.
Crochet.
Get the fanciness out there. Come on.
Yeah, my unculturedness is showing. Orlando says amazing crochet.
There you go.
And the paint job looks really good. B says add about 15 more degrees to the hip, Tony.
That's always a good. It's always a good suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, Tony, it's funny when you put the rocker girl up, and I was complimenting the pose. I completely forgot that we had worked on the pose together. I thought it was just like, Tony's got the hips working.
He's like, you did it by himself.
That's when I actually listened to you.
Yeah. Sparky says smiley and heart. Thank you, Sparky. And B says, so if this is the Stylus League, Justice League, is Bradman and Tony kind of like Batman and Robin?
If that is the case, I am absolutely Robin. No one's going to be scared of me. Tony's like twice as big as I am. People aren't going to know Robin. I'm the guy who just like politely asks you to move the car. Like that's what I do.
It's like, if you don't mind.
Yeah, if you don't mind, sir. If you would just not rob that person, that would be nice.
I think Brad's more like Green Lantern.
Well, if this is like the Justice League, I'm Iron Man. I don't belong. I don't belong here.
Jail immediately.
I don't belong here. That's what it is. Frederick says, I would say more like Green Lantern and Green Arrow. Mike and Bradley or Batman and Robin. Ooh, I know that.
I like to say Batman and Nightwing, you know.
I know that hurt. I know
Nightwing
that hurt Bradley.
Nightwing blames Batman a lot for his trauma and how life didn't go well. And I think that's where I'm at, you know. Batman and Nightwing, you know.
Yeah, that I think that makes me the next Robin, the kid Robin, right? Is the one the one that's there, right? Teen Titans.
So what? He adopted
Titan
me
Go.
and helped me come on my feet and gave me all the training.
Yeah. Frederick says, I'm Aquaman. I don't know how. As a matter of fact, though, can I be what's his name? Why am I blanking on his name? Freaking never mind. I'll skip it for now. You got
know what? That's a
long
theme.
hair.
The Stylus League draws ourselves as characters from Justice League.
That is a theme. Yep. But somebody's gonna have to do mine.
You do yours.
Yeah,
No, you'll do yours. We'll let you. You'll let you AI it up.
I don't want.
It wouldn't be the first time you've brought your art to the stream, Raul. So,
yeah,
you know.
well, that's true. But the thing is that I don't show people on purpose because again, I don't want to. I'm not trying to embarrass anybody on our show.
I get
right?
it. I get it.
Yeah, Momoa.
They'll never want to come
Yeah,
back.
Momoa, Jason Momoa. That's who I was. As long as I could be that, like, just give me the hair. Definitely the pecs. If you guys animate, if you guys could just like have it, you know what I'm talking about. You guys are fine. B says, "Oh my god." B said, "Brad is Booster Gold and Raul is a Jarvis robot because he's like the voice in front of it all." So is that Jarvis do I get Avengers 2 Jarvis? Do I eventually get my body?
Almost destroy the world, sure.
Yeah, almost in. Yeah, I mean, but that sounds like me though, right? Like if there's any accurate description of the things I bring to the show, it's probably pretty accurate. All right, so Brad, what do you got going on over here, man?
A little bit of Photoshop.
Was that a British accent?
Let's see. You're bringing in the magic.
I'm bringing
the magic. You're bringing the magic.
Little bit of Photoshop.
I say it that way because when I was first learning Photoshop, way back when, I think I was watching a Gnomon workshop video, and the guy who was the tutor was, I think he was Australian. So when he heard the Photoshop, he called it Photoshop. And whenever he's like, all right, we're going to go into Photoshop. And now it's just how I think of Photoshop. Like, just
that's your thing. It's definitely not alienating the large British audience we have.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all.
Do we have anybody from Britain?
Oh yeah. Actually, a good chunk of the audience is actually European.
One of the reasons why we started coming on Saturdays, guys.
Saturday, yep, absolutely. Gosh. Sure is. All right, tossing it over to you, Tony. What do you got going on right now?
I putting the arms in there. I think her body's kind of shaped out. She's a thick one.
2 C's. 2 C's. It's good.
That's the world.
Bradley, what about you?
I'm about to work on these boots a little bit.
I hear they're meant for walking.
Ooh, that's just what they'll do.
That's right.
One day.
Told you. Told you.
You might walk over you.
Something like that.
One of these days.
I'm glad you guys caught that and didn't just leave me.
You wouldn't dare.
You wouldn't dare. Would never cross your mind.
If it was Bradley, yes.
Yeah. All right. I appreciate that.
I'm used to being left alone in the dark to fend for myself.
Yeah. So Bradley, what are you going to do to the boots?
So the boots, I'm going to put some compression areas back here on the side to kind of make them feel more leather, not leathery, but more. I think Storm has I would say some hybrid latex boots.
Well, I mean, what's the reference that you're using?
So let's do this. Hold on, let me make sure I don't have any weird nudity stuff. All right, cool. All right. Had to double check.
Why would it be weird?
So this was all my reference. I was looking to make her face.
Okay.
This is body shape. These are other Storm imaging.
Ooh, I love a lot of those.
I
So,
really
like when you, yeah, I was gonna ask, out of
these
all of
boots
them
over
with the
here.
boot materials, which one are you like referencing?
I'm going here, but I'm looking like when I'm looking at reference, I'm pulling for like everything that kind of makes sense. Like I like how this person did their boots, but it's pretty much like her boots are very cloth-like, it seems. So what I'm going with.
Okay. So you decided not to go with the punk one, right?
I don't know yet.
You don't know yet?
Yeah, I don't know yet.
For anybody just joining the stream, can you show them the other hairstyle?
I do not have it in this file. I have to load
Oh, you
another
don't have
file.
it.
Yeah.
All right, that's fine. Is that like a Catwoman latex suit?
It's just a latex suit.
Okay. Now I see why you needed a little help before to make sure that the reference model was right.
Yeah.
All right. We have George on. George is it Roca or Rocha? One of the two. Good afternoon to all of you. Sorry for being late. We're just glad you're here, George.
Don't worry, but we're just chilling.
Yeah, we're just glad you are here. So Brad, when you're like shaping out the magic, like what are you thinking of? Like what's the process like here?
I'm trying to make it distinct, but also like, wispy, which is kind of a difficult combination, at least in my experience. I'm trying to make it feel like you can kind of get a feel for the actual swirling of it, but I don't know that it's actually happening in that regard. We just don't know. We just can't be sure. But I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to kind of like make it distinct and not so cloudy that you can't really see what the heck's going on. And
happy little trees.
What?
Happy little trees. Just keep
Happy little
playing around
trees.
with it until it gets there.
Oh, this is painting stuff. I also put all my magic stuff in a folder, and then when I was doing the magic stuff, I messed up. I was moving part of the folder that I shouldn't have been moving. So it's important to keep your Photoshop stuff, whatchamacallit, organized. And I'm not really doing that right now. I really should.
If you're not organized, I don't know what's going to happen. You're the most organized out of all.
I know. I'm usually pretty good at
I'm
being
concerned.
organized, but
yeah, I'm concerned.
It's all coming to an end when Brad's not organized.
Nov D, welcome to the stream, by the way. I think this is the first time I've seen you comment. So welcome to the league. Says go for the OG hair in MCOC.
I don't know what is the mohawk the OG hair?
No. Is it?
I believe it is. I think it is, yeah.
All right, now I gotta look it up.
I think so.
Original Storm hair.
I believe it's the mohawk.
Yeah, I think it is the mohawk. Looks like it. I like her with the long hair, but I can see the appeal of the mohawk. Yeah, because Storm was introduced when in the 80s, right?
Yeah, she was the second team. She was introduced with Wolverine.
And that is true. A lot of people don't realize that. They don't realize Wolverine was not an OG. So yeah, they're saying original hair, but yeah, well, Bradley is yet to decide.
We'll see.
We will see. All right, Tony, I'm gonna highlight you here for a sec.
I'm still figuring out this arm. I don't think I need to overdo it with anatomy, but I want to have a decent silhouette, so I'm just playing around.
Well, you always build things from absolute scratch, don't you?
Yeah. I don't have to, but yeah.
No, but you do. I mean, that's why your stuff always looks nice and different. My stuff always. If I'm doing fan art, I tend to start with a base mesh because I don't really care about how unique it is, because it's not unique if it's fan art.
I feel like getting away from it. Whenever I use a base mesh, even like if I use a head or something, like I could use a head, but for me it always feels very samey.
Yeah.
So I always start that way. If I make a mistake, sometimes the mistakes, help.
I wouldn't know anything about that. I never make any of this.
I get it.
No, none,
So rare.
none at all. Epitome of perfection, this Brad Groteman.
For me, everything's practice. So it's just practice.
Now, Brad, a question here on stream. George asks, I didn't get to watch the last stream. Can I have a insight on how did Brad Groteman did the effects on the hands? I have to do something similar to a character I'm working on. Would be much appreciated.
Let's take a look. I'm assuming we're talking about just the overall shape of them.
I think he uses special effects. I think it's Photoshop.
Is it? I mean, yeah. So let me know what you mean, Jorge, if it's the sculpting or the painting, because in the painting side of things, I didn't really. I mean, I just did a bunch of texture overlays and stuff like that, right? So, but a lot of this stuff here, like if we're talking about things like the cavity detection kind of thing, a lot of that is just a matter of, in my case, I did a bunch of different renders with different materials and then kind of composite on top of each other. And one of the ones I do when I do a render is a cavity map one. So basically here's my left hand here, and I'll assign a material to it. Like I'll go up here to the light box, and the one I do for cavity map is I'll go through and again, you can download these from, I think, ZBrush Central. Again, you can probably use any of them, but there's one here called Loadin. There's like a million different Loadin 2, Loadin 1. I think they're all at ZBrush Central. And I just choose one of these, and what I'll do is I'll come up here to the material settings, and under modifiers, I crank up the cavity detection like all the way. So every little indentation is really, really, really like obvious. So when I render out a version of that and I overlay it with soft light blend mode, something like that, all those lines and those crevices really come through. In terms of the actual sculpting, obviously I just exaggerated the little fingertips just because I wanted them to stand out a little bit. But I think get like the cavity stuff is really kind of a cool overlay image to have. It kind of just makes it's like ambient occlusion on steroids, and so you render it out with a cavity detection cranked up. It really does give you a great way just to kind of make all those little details pop without having to work too hard about it. But yeah, that's like for any time I do renders, that's always going to be one of the passes is a cavity map one, because it just enhances everything, and you can make that as stylized or as subtle as you want. But in this case, I think for the hand at least, I wanted to make sure it looked really kind of like gnarly, so I kind of cranked it up a little bit.
Awesome. Yeah, Jamie B says, "Wow, great tip. Thank you, Brad."
I hope it helps. Yeah, I think again, to be clear, I did not make that up. Like I think I saw, actually we were talking about Grissetti before. I think that he does that or something along those lines on his renders, and his renders always look amazing, as you probably know. So anything I can do to steal from that, I will happily do.
Happily borrow.
Oh, sorry, that's what I meant. Shoot, edit that out. I was
inspired, yeah. George, does that answer your question, or were you looking for something else? Were you talking about the magic? Were you talking about the hands?
The green. Well, I think the green. I mean, honestly, I don't think there actually is a whole lot of green on here. Most of it's just like stuff that I put like the painting over top of it, and the blend modes have to add or screen, so it's just kind of like But most of the stuff, again, same. And again, this is probably obvious to but I do a clown pass, and this is kind of helpful for things like highlights around edges. So I'll do a clown pass with basically flat shading and colors for all the different parts. So if I want to focus on just say like this right hand, I can go into my clown layer here with my magic wand, select just the green Don't do that, Photoshop. There we go. Select just the green. It's been doing this recently where it's kind of off thing. And then I can just come here now, and wherever I paint, it's only going to paint, obviously in that area. So it's kind of like it's like its own little version of a mask, right? Where you can kind of just select that, and you can kind of isolate the effect of the brush just to that. So if I come in here now and I want to paint like just highlights, I can just, I can paint them just right there, and it'll only go on the hand. So it's just a nice little way to isolate. And of course you can do that for when you bring in textures as well. But just generally speaking, it's kind of a nice little way to be able to very quickly and easily isolate one aspect of your render, so you can focus on adjustment layers or paint overs or whatever it is. But that's always helpful too.
Yeah, and George, to kind of answer a little bit too, this is being done in Photoshop, so I don't know if you need to do this for your work in Photoshop or if you're looking to do this in ZBrush or something like that. But this is a render that Brad rendered out and then is working on all the rest of everything in Photoshop.
And also, again, I don't know how commonly known this is. It might be very common. If so, I apologize. But like for things like the sleeves and stuff, you'll see in ZBrush, the sleeves have a very, they're very tattered, right? It's important to know that that's not actually sculpted in. This is actually just a full-on sleeve. But if you put a texture map and you have part of that texture map set to black, you can set up, and you can't really see it because my stupid face is in the way. Hang on a second here. But you can do this. Where's my display? Nope, I always choose the wrong one. Yeah, so you can do this. You can go down here on your texture map and just crank up the transparent slider, right? And wherever's pure black will kind of slowly just fade away. You can crank it up even more, and you'll kind of get a more of an effect. So you can kind of use that black as a way of essentially kind of removing part of your texture. So instead of having to kind of like sculpt in all that crazy textury stuff, you can just get it for free. So that's kind of a good thing to know, just because that would have taken forever. And you can see the same idea here. I just did like these little textures here with a lot of black in them. You can see that little texture there. It's just basically gray with a lot of black. And then I just have that set to go transparent at render time, somewhat transparent. So it kind of gives you that kind of like ghostly thing happening there. That was kind of the idea for doing that, kind of like using those transparency maps and stuff.
Oh, that's great.
I saw that Jamie asked about making the clown pass. The clown pass, Jamie, is actually really straightforward. You go subtool to subtool, and use your flat color, and just fill each one with a color, and then it's different, and then you just keep going from thing to thing. You just gotta make sure you turn off your noise. You gotta make sure that that your textures are turned off. But then you just do a render with that flat color pass, and you're good to go. But that's a really nice, cool way to give yourself basically a mask for every single subtool. Just make sure you don't save over your other stuff.
All right. Great. Thanks, Brad. You can bring your face back, by the way, now, if you'd like.
Oh, I think it's I think we'll have to this way.
Yeah, you prefer it this way, actually, huh? Yeah, I like this. Yeah, George says, I'm lucky, got 2 super tips with 1 question. Sorry for the confusion. No,
that's a good kind of confusion.
Yeah, well, at least we got your question answered. That's really what's important. Gaming 480p says, love the green material. Looks awesome.
That's kind of a custom one. It was a comic. It was one of those one of these sketch shaded ones, I think, or no, I think framer material that I just went in. I kind of tweaked it a little bit, just to kind of make it a little bit more straightforwardly comic material. But yeah, those are really fun. I like doing renders with the comic material just because it's a nice little customized look.
All right, great. Also, for anybody that's new on here, just because I see some new folks in the chat, I'm dropping the link to our Discord. You guys can join the Discord. There's a ton of great artists in there, and everybody's helping each other out, right? So it's a great community. But I'll drop the link down there for anybody who cares to join the Discord at this moment.
Everyone cares.
Everybody should care.
Everyone
Anyway, everybody should care. Let me actually just make sure that there isn't anything out of pocket in here, and I'll just highlight a couple of things that some people have put up. I'm liking that we're seeing some more 2D in there. I'm loving some of these concepts that we have. So I'm gonna actually full screen here myself and bring it up to Discord here. All right, so we have a couple. So by the way, for anybody who doesn't know, we have currently going on right now a Doom Sculpt challenge. We're going to be picking the winner next month, and the winner of that will get a PC provided to us by Intel. So make sure it's not too late. You guys can start on your models and submit that. We have the rules in the Discord. So go ahead and check that out if you guys are new to the stream. So we have a couple of people. It works in progress. 3D Manic has Bradley. This is the name of this is the same model that you were working on before, right? What's the name of this character?
It's a Hell Knight.
Hell Knight, yeah. Okay, so it looks like he's working on a Hell Knight. Look at that rotation around. Fantastic. So we have DK. DK, I know you got you're in the stream right now, so
Nice.
Yeah, it looks like you got a character that you're working on here. No arms. They chopped off her arms. And then I know Mini Chicks, these are so Mini Chicks, are these your prints? These are not your prints, right?
Yes.
These are the print. This is print. I keep saying that because of the background. So like, did she remove the
I don't know if that's a statue behind it, but I think that's the print.
Does she just have a fog machine that she normally turns on in her office, or like what?
Hey,
that's what I'm saying. I think the thing was
and if she does,
look, I mean, to each his own. I'm not judging.
If she does, I'm jealous if she does.
Yeah, I'm not judging. This is Tony's thing. You know, you guys have seen it already a couple of times today. I'm gonna highlight a couple of 2D pieces of art. This is Shinez, and they're like little Godzilla draw it out. This from a couple of weeks ago, but I know I haven't highlighted any of the 2D art. I think we could do a better job of highlighting our community members on our stream when we're looking at all of that. Katri, this was 522. This was last week. But have a time. Let me kill that. But yeah. So again, guys, community is great. You guys help each other a lot. Katri, good stuff with your little time lapse here, man. I don't know if you have this on your YouTube. I can only imagine that you do, though.
Nice, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, I always love the end results. Katri does some great work.
Yeah, Katri's YouTube channel is amazing. It's awesome.
Yeah. All right, so moving myself back to Cam. Let's see here. Catching up with chat. Minicheck says if you have a flat material, poly paint off and poly frame without lines turned on, it will remember the clown pass automatically.
That'll save me about 25 minutes. Yeah, that's good to know. That is very good to know. I gotta try that out. That's way helpful.
That's nice. I got a crying baby in the background, so talk amongst yourselves.
Well, now that he's gone.
To be clear, I'm still here.
Oh, it's not. No, he's gone.
Never mind. Abort.
Are you? I have to take my daughter wants to see. I'm trying to be efficient. She wants to see The Little Mermaid, and she wants to see Miles, for the Into the Spider-Verse, and I don't want to take her 2 different weekends to the movie, so I'm waiting for Into the Spider-Verse to release, and we're gonna see both.
Okay.
Okay, so here's the question though, because I knew how I grew up. When what that meant was.
Oh, I know where you're going with this.
What that meant was you buying the ticket to the early show and just catching the late show.
For legal purposes, theoretically, sometimes that happens.
Both tickets. I know.
Okay. Just saying. Like I know how I grew up. I grew up with my mom putting a whole pizza box in that purse. And she we're making a day out of this.
I for sure bring my own my own snacks with the kids, but yeah, we're probably gonna start with The Little Mermaid so I can finish my sleep in the morning, and that way I'll be well refreshed to watch Into the Spider-Verse.
I learned that as a 6-year-old that you learn the times, and then when one movie's over, you just kind of casually walk into the other theater. A lot easier to do back in the day than it is now, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, that was
my daughter was like, "Hey, Dad,
that was the thing.
Did you buy the other ticket?"
Sure.
Oh yeah. She'll rat you out. She'll go walk up to one of the teenagers up front, just tug on his little shirt and be like, "Daddy didn't buy it. You didn't buy the other ticket."
Her excitement is turning in the ticket. All right, if there's no ticket to turn in, like we would have to step out, turn in the ticket because she loves it.
The worst is when your kid doesn't look like a little kid anymore, so you can't get the kid's ticket.
Oh, I'm still getting for my 15 year. I'm still getting kids ticket. I wish somebody would. He lived with my house. All right, he's a kid.
Yeah. It all looks the same way. You guys don't buy kids tickets for yourselves. They don't look at it. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. They don't look at it. You know they don't look at it.
I used to work at the theater. I never looked.
You know damn well they don't look at that. They just look like they just look that you have something in your hands. That's it.
I am older now, so I picked the elderly tickets. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Senior
citizens. Yeah, all day. I got the salt and pepper. Let them say something.
How dare you?
Yeah, exactly. Ageist. Gus is saying 3D Manic is doing a great job this week. Sure is.
Yeah, the whip section of Discord has really got some great stuff in there, man.
Yeah, it does. George says, I posted something on Discord so I could get some feedback. Might have been in the wrong channel to get feedback. Should I post in 3D? I would post it in a 3D whip. The get feedback channel was specifically for a segment we were doing on the stream, which we're not doing at the moment. It will come back, but it will come back in a different form. Be on the lookout for that down the line, guys.
But while it's up, maybe Brad and Tony should give him feedback if you pull it up.
I mean, if you guys would like.
Oh,
sure. I don't mind.
These are teachers. They can't help it.
They can't help it. You guys want to do that? All right.
I don't mind.
My feedback. I feel like only qualified to feedback on poses, which is, I'm also usually ignored.
You would see what he's doing,
but
there's no backing out now. George says, "Hi everyone. I've been working on this character called Nosdormo." I don't know. I don't know why I said it that way. From World of Warcraft. I'm doing some tweaks and some clothing and jewelry. Feel free to give me insights. I'm learning ZBrush by myself, and if any feedback would be much appreciated. So I'm going to start with the big model. What feedback? And please rip this apart because he asked for it.
Wow.
I think the traps connect to the shoulder a little wrong. See how they kind of overlap way over to the side? And it's the left shoulder, that little muscle up there. And not that I'm an anatomy expert. I think that it overlaps a little wrong.
Get Bradley's crochet out.
Yeah. I also think, and I see this a lot when people are starting out, you need a little bit more form and a little bit more silhouette in those shoulders. If you're making a muscular character, make that shoulder pop a little bit.
Yeah, a little more of a rounded out.
Yeah,
a little more
I see where you have the indentations carved in, but I would give it a little more form so it kind of pops and rounds a little bit. Because it looks, and again, this isn't bad for somebody learning about yourself and starting out, but things feel a little flat, if you know what I mean. And I think you can use a little more form and pop and pronounce and add to the silhouette. And I feel like it might be a stylistic choice, but the ears look like maybe too skinny. They need more flesh or form to them, maybe. Something isn't working for me for the ears, but maybe I'm just looking because it's not close up on the ears.
Yeah, let's see
No,
if
I
there's
think
another.
generally speaking, yeah, if the ears are that long, they might have a little bit more of a flop to them.
Yeah.
Really. Because just from its own weight, it'll probably tend to fall a little bit. Just generally speaking. So yeah, I think that does make sense. Either have them be bulked up a little bit, even just depth wise. They're kind of thin. They can get thicker. Toward the back of them as they taper still up. But yeah, that's a good call because yeah, when they're that thin, they would feel like they would probably have a little bit more of a curve to them. I think is a way of looking at it.
And I think the face feels very default face in each character. Like maybe enunciate those cheekbones or pull the cheeks in and make the chin a little longer or something to give it more character. It looks very like default.
Well, you know what's missing, and you know what I do this a lot. I forget about eyebrows. Like, don't forget eyebrows because it's really easy to kind of like focus on the face, and then it's like, oh wait, something's missing, and I always forget the damn eyebrows. So like, not every character is going to have them, I suppose, but that's one of the things that Tony's talking about, like having character in the face. Eyebrows do that. They show your emotion. They show what you're feeling. That's kind of why they're there. And if they're missing, a lot of times you might kind of get that blank feel sometimes. That's just
Great. I'll move on to a different to the full pose here. Let me open in browser. Let me see if I can give.
Hey, Raul, one thing. I am no expert, not even close. But I have posted links for Ryan Kingsley's YouTube face anatomy and face construction, and if you would take your time and you like almost like all of us, I think a lot of us have learned facial construction and modeling from Ryan Kingsley, and I would strongly suggest that you look at some of those, and it will help you dramatically. I posted them in the chat. Some of my favorite ones, I can show it here. YouTube. Ranking. He did a really good one where he is actually like going through. I shared this one, but this is
Turn off
one
the
of
audio,
my favorite
please.
ones. I'm sorry.
Turn off the audio.
This is one of my favorite ones. Share. Where's the link? Share. Copy. Yeah, I would take my time and go through some of these. He does a really good job of explaining boning landmarks and stuff like that. And if you look him up, like you'll learn a whole lot.
Yeah, he's the dude.
Like he's like, I'll share this one too. He'll set you right for the face. When I started doing faces, a lot of things that I was missing in my face construction was a lot of the bony landmarks. So if you look towards adding a lot of the bony landmarks to your face, it'll help a lot too.
All right. Great stuff, guys. Thank you. Hopefully, George, that gives you a little bit of something to start to work with.
The other thing I saw when you brought up his body was if he feel. I know it seems like you're trying to make a tall character, but something about the proportions makes him feel short. I don't know if it's the pants or something or where the hips are. He just feels a little short, but I don't. Maybe I'm off.
I think it's because I'm presenting the character.
This is true.
Bradley, the music cut out.
But
All right. So yeah, hopefully George that helped out. Looks like George appreciated it.
I think it's a great start though, man.
Yeah, and again, it's always, and for me anyway, I always am kind of humbled by how off my anatomy is at first.
In general, yeah.
Just in general, like I was like, oh, I thought like I should know what I should know what a person looks like. I've been one for quite some time. And yet,
yeah. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. But in your defense, you don't go out, so
it's true.
You may have forgotten.
I'm not around a lot of people. Man.
Yeah, you may have forgotten what people look like. Jamie B says Stylus League School rocks. Yeah. Maybe we do a Schoolhouse Rock type little song.
Schoolhouse Rock was awesome.
A little song for some of these things with anatomy. George says getting ripped is the way to grow and learn more.
Yeah, I mean, and that's
as long as it's constructive, right?
I disagree. No, I mean, like a lot of folks will, including myself, I'm sure, will ask for feedback, and then when you get feedback, yeah, but I disagree. So it's good to to be open to it, even if you don't agree with it. Just pretend.
Was that a jab? Was that a jab?
No, never. Not me. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, it looks like Frederick still can't get over that you guys use the square alpha on Clay. He says he feels like he just doesn't know us anymore.
He's like, you animals.
Yeah, he's like, I used to listen to y'all. I don't know what happened.
Oh yeah, it's going to be hard to come back from this one, I think. But
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. All right, so Bradley, what are you working on here?
Boots.
Still working on the boots.
How quickly can you model boots?
As quickly as you can pull. Yeah, as quickly as you can pull them off and give them to me. So you're adding some details there.
Yeah, some seam lines and kind of break it up some.
By the way, Mike's not here, but shout out to Mike if he's listening. Congratulations on your daughter graduating college, man. That's a big step.
Yeah, he hasn't been in chat all day, so I'm gonna say he's not.
It's probably a busy weekend.
Yeah. He's moving hardcore right now. He's getting those steps in.
Yeah, sure is. Sure is.
I'm at the age where I just gotta hire a mover, man. I'm not.
Oh, dude. Yeah, you said at the age. I did that 5 years ago, and like when I moved I'm like, I'm not doing that no more.
He did hire a mover, but y'all know it's Mike, so he's probably managing and.
Okay. Can you move that box an inch and a half to the left, please?
You know how much that statue cost me? You know that statue? The statue was signed by Kill Bill.
Yeah.
What?
Yep. George says, I'll post an update of the character. I'm saving Bradley. I'll post an update of the character on the Whip 3D for later feedback.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, awesome. All right. I'm gonna highlight Brad right now.
Oh, a bold choice. It's a bold choice.
Bold choice. I am nothing if not bold, gentlemen.
I have this horrible tendency to overdo it in Photoshop. Like, I'll just bring in more overlays, more effects, more everything, and then and then I'll go back to my original render and be like, you know what? I think I liked it before I did anything to this.
Anything before you
darker and darker though.
Anything, and I don't know. I might be at that point now, but I'm not sure. Might be one of those things where you have to just like save me from myself. Like take the friggin' pen out of my hand. But it's fun to make more clouds.
Clouds is always a good thing.
I know. That's what I'm trying to say. So,
Unless you can't see the character under it.
Well, again,
That's true.
Bradley, Tony, it's not always,
Well,
a good thing.
touche.
Leave something to the imagination, and they'll assume it's better. You know what I'm saying? This is not necessarily rely on your viewer to fill in all the gaps. It's not
All the bad.
There you go.
Yeah,
All the bad.
that's what I do.
A lot to that statement.
Yep, that's what I do. All right. I'm gonna highlight Bradley here for a second. I need to step away. Just give me a quick sec. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Just love all the highlights on me doing random ass stuff.
You would love it.
Those are tall boots.
Right?
I would have
I
to
don't
think
know.
they'd fall down.
I don't know. It's not practical.
I think Storm
And
could
if you've
handle it.
learned nothing from comic books, is that their outfits are always practical.
Really?
Spandex is the optimal battle attire.
Spandex,
Yeah.
bikinis and knee-high and thigh-high boots. Sure, that's what everyone would wear into battle.
That's what I'm wearing when I go to war.
I mean, look at the character I'm doing. A ironclad brawler. Perfect. Perfect.
Okay, so basically you have the pose of the low res model, and then once you get the high res model the way you like it, you're
Yep.
going to go down to your lower res and swap it out.
Yep.
It's fiendishly clever, Bradley. It's fiendishly clever.
Hold on, let me try it on the boots. Let's see if it'll actually work. In theory, it should work.
Yes.
So
in
let me
theory it
take
should.
in theory. So I'm going to I think I have to export it to do it. So let me go to low. Export. No, let me go to high. Export. If this doesn't work, I have the rig. I can always just swap it out. Download. Boots. I'm assuming it should work. Boots. How many subdivisions did I put on here? Let's say I have 4. So let's go to here. Let me apply this. Rehire. Fingers crossed. Import.
What are you breaking, Bradley?
Oh, didn't work. You know what? I should have recorded why didn't it work? Let's see why it didn't work. No. I don't know why it didn't work. It's whatever. I'll put this set on the rig and it'll be posed.
Do you have like layers or something like that? Something that might interfere with this?
I think I do. Oh, you know what? Smart.
You brilliant creature, you. No,
No,
not it.
I don't have layers. No, not it. Not it. It's
Not
okay.
it.
I have the rig. What I'll do is I'll move the detailed geo to the rig, and
Yeah, Gus is saying sculpt is looking great, Bradley.
thank you.
That's awesome. Guys, we're at 12 o'clock.
Yeah, got a hard
So
stop.
let's go ahead and put up the pencils, put them down in whatever direction that you need to do. And Tony, we're gonna start with you today.
So
Where
this is
where
what
did
I'm
you
going
start?
for.
Where did you end?
Started from a sphere. That's where I got so far. This is the character. So no details yet, but I think I got her blocked out. I've just been putting off the feet.
Why have
She's
you been
getting there, I
putting off
think.
the feet?
Though she has feet, and I don't have any.
Okay.
But this is where I'm at. Not too far, but it's all right.
No, it's good. It's a good block out. All right. Brad, what about you?
Well, this is where I ended up with Orko. Tried to make him seem a little bit creepy, a little bit more, mystical, glowy type stuff. I started out with just kind of just a dude,
Just a dude.
and then some Photoshop stuff to kind of give him a little bit more of a context for what he's doing. So if someone has an idea how to make magic mystical stuff look better, hook a brother up, because this is a little bit on the indistinct side, and I don't love it. So if there's a way to make cloudy stuff feel less cloudy, let me know, because I could use all the help I can get in that regard. I don't like
Isn't the point for cloudy to be cloud?
Yeah, but you get the idea. I want it to feel swirly, and it could just be a matter of actually just painting better. But it doesn't feel swirly. It feels just like misty. You know what I'm saying? I want more substance to my magic.
I
I think if
see.
you paint some more white strokes in it to break it up to make it look more cloudy.
Yeah, I think that if I had kind of almost like a wispy, ribbony light streak going through there, it'll it's kind of like doing a glow.
It looks
without a
like
white
you-
hot center. Yeah.
It looks like you actually kind of started. Like if you're looking down towards his left hand, like he has some swirl wispiness going on there. It just doesn't follow up the smoke.
Yeah, no, that's definitely where I have to keep working is the magic stuff. It's a work in progress. It's still there. It's still a work in progress in the magic section. Everything else, though, I think it's as done as it's going to get. But the magic needs a little bit of love.
Brad, you might like this, but I have a suggestion.
You want me to start over from the very
Start
beginning?
over.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that's probably the way to go.
Start
It'll be
over.
Yeah.
faster that way.
Make sure autosave is off and Alt F4, please. Thank you.
Yeah.
All those things.
All those things. And then lastly, Bradley, where did we start? Where did we end today?
So my hand started off like this. So I started actually sculpting the hand so I can do the gloves. My boots looked like this, really soft. So I started to put in some of the details on the boots. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to throw some of the work that I've done on the armature on the rig that I have, and so I can get it in pose and see what it looks like. So
Oh no, it's
for the
it's
most
looking great, man.
part, a lot of it, I think I'm gonna have to the suit needs to be okay. No, the suit's okay. I thought I had to re-UV it, but this is what it looks. This is what the geo looks like before the suit.
Okay.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah, it
shit.
looks great. Jamie says, great show, great work, guys, and great stream. Thank you. Just some housekeeping items here before we go. If you guys are new to the stream, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you like the content, obviously, hopefully it gave you some value. If you are watching and have not liked the stream, please do so. It really helps the YouTubes get everything out there. I did drop a link to the Discord in chat, but let me see about dropping it again. Actually, it's in chat. You guys can see it. Don't forget that we have the merch store up. We will be changing that here soon. So if you wanted to get some of your Stylus League merch, go ahead and do that now. If you like anything that you've seen in the store today, there is no guarantee it will be there tomorrow. So go
Other
ahead.
big thing, next Friday we are at 8 p.m. Is it 8 or 9? I think it's 9.
It's 9
9 p.m. next Friday. We start our Street Fighter theme show with Eric Sosa and Ian.
I don't think so. Ian's not going to be there next week.
First week, but he's for the month. I think I'm doing Akuma. I don't know what Mike is doing yet, but look forward to a great Street Fighter theme show. And everybody know Eric Sosa is king of Street Fighter, so it'll be awesome.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited for that. The Doom competition as well. Make sure to get your submissions in. Bradley, what's the submission deadline?
Deadline is June 9th.
June 9th. So make sure to get that over by June 9th. And then we're selecting. Yep, 2 weeks left. When are we selecting the winners? The following show, right?
The following show, I believe it's June 17th.
Yep. So all of you guys who are watching right now, Zerchan, see, we got some people coming out of the woodworks right now. But if you guys normally catch us at this time, just make sure to catch the VOD. We have to accommodate some of our West Coast brethren here when it comes to the show. Never a happy time for everybody. So we try to do Saturdays. But when we have guests like that really can't do that early, we have to do Friday nights. But yeah, guys, with all that being said, thank you guys for coming out, watching us. Make sure to share this out with anybody that you think would enjoy the channel, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Take it easy.
All right, folks.
Peace.